All right. It is dark outside. It's time for another episode of Crypto After Dark, brought to you by Constant Collab. Thank you all for joining another episode with us tonight. It's going to be episode 8 for us tonight. We're going to be talking about the XRP ledger. We talk about XRP a good bit and kind of wanted to go over the reason why that conversation has continued over the years, why there's a big focus on the XRP ledger, and some of the native assets that are existing and some of the new projects that we've been looking at that have been opening themselves up on the XRP ledger, just as we've been talking about, NFTs and other projects on the Ethereum blockchain. We've been talking about VeChain, and it has its own ledger and system. So we're going to talk about XRP and why we got into that to begin with. So first, we're going to start with some charts. Just wanted to take a look at the overall marketplace for a little bit. So crypto is a little bit down tonight. So as you can see here, take a look at the percentage change here. Algo's down a good bit. Chili's is down. So some of these, the NFT players that we talked about recently are making some downside moves. Uniswap taking a little bit of a hit. Let's find Bitcoin here. I think Bitcoin's only down a couple percentage points, 62,500 here, and a lot of the projects are still sitting at or above their 50-day averages here. This is a 50-day moving average. This is a 14. Those are just two averages I like to keep on the charts. Don't try to get crazy over moving averages, but I do think they can help, and I do think the 200 daily moving average can help as well in certain situations. XRP also sitting above that 50-day moving average. A lot of people are expecting anything from IMF or global regulatory announcements to the SEC finally getting their act together to potentially boost XRP and give XRP a lift here. We'll see what happens. Again, we'll be talking about its ledger system and then some of the other assets as well that have been incepted on the XRPL and why we might think that's valuable heading into the future. So with that being said, let's sort of take a look at this picture first here. So XRP is the best digital asset for payments. So this is 4 years old, but I remember looking at this picture and saying, well, unless there's a gimmick or I always remember when I first bought XRP, like, wouldn't somebody just copy this model? Wouldn't there just be another XRP eventually, right? But XRP is the best digital asset for payments. The Ripple's got this graphic on their website, and in general, I think it's also somewhat of a sales pitch towards XRP, but in general, XRP is the asset that runs on the XRPL and was probably one of the only ones at the time. And so some of the other assets that are operating on the XRPL are trying to utilize and capture that same speed, cost, and scalability. And that's the whole purpose of why they get into it. And so just to give you an overview here, I'm on the xrpl.org website here, and just taking a look at an overview. XRPL today and the vision for tomorrow, how the ledger works, is a decentralized public blockchain. Anyone can connect their computer to the peer-to-peer network that manages the ledger. The global XRP ledger community, a diverse set of software engineers, server operators, users, and businesses maintains the ledger. So you can look at some of the technicalities here. And it does operate on a consensus protocol. So consensus is where designated servers called validators come to an agreement on the order and outcome of XRP transactions every 3 to 5 seconds. So they're utilizing this consensus protocol and this network here to capture that speed that we saw on the previous scale. And their whole goal here, was sort of to reduce the fees and some of the other inefficiencies seen across some of the original players like Bitcoin in the blockchain space. Anyone can operate a validator. Currently, over 150 validators are active on the ledger, operated by universities, exchanges, businesses, and individuals. Additionally, the consensus protocol ensures the blockchain becomes more decentralized over time as the validator pool grows. So There was a Ripple net map that was showing partnerships. I'm pretty sure there was one that used to show validators as well, but it's getting harder to sort of, let's see if we can actually see. So here's the list of validators for the XRP ledger here. So you can take a look at this list here. Yeah, they used to have a Ripple net map where you could see some of the early partnerships as well, which was really interesting on a Google Map perspective. And then a greener blockchain. So unlike most other blockchains, the XRP ledger does not need mining. So, I'm going to bring up this this history tab here. So in 2011, three engineers, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito, began developing the XRPL. Fascinated by Bitcoin, they set out to create a better version that improved upon its limitations with the goal of creating a digital asset that was more sustainable and built specifically for payments. So, back to that mining sort of piece from before, they were certainly targeting there's even climate narratives behind Bitcoin because it's so inefficient and it's going to cost extra to continue extracting that value. People are setting up crazy mining rigs. One of my friends, Ryan, was talking to me about buying some old gas-powered machines and all kinds of other stuff and setting up mining rigs because it was profitable at the time, and it still is. But there's certainly narratives against it, and when you look at the halving cycle and then you look at something like this, is mining Bitcoin going to be a thing forever, or will we just eventually decide to be more efficient and cut out that middleman from a payments perspective? So a lot of people don't like Ripple and XRP because it's so centralized to them. But in theory, the XRPL is completely decentralized, and it really gives any two parties the opportunity to transact at a really fast speed for not a high price, and that was their intention when they came out to make it. So their XRP ledger first launched in 2012. Shortly thereafter, they were joined by Chris Larson, and the group started a company called Newcoin. So we'll talk about Newcoin in September 2012, quickly renamed OpenCoin. The XRPL founders gifted 80 billion XRP, the platform's native currency, to the company. Ripple has since put the majority in escrow. So that's what both the escrow and the way that they handled their own XRP is the main reason behind the SEC lawsuit. We've talked about that a bunch on the lunch hour and other episodes of Crypto After Dark. I wasn't really planning on talking about that too much tonight. I think in general, it's really hindering the future of this technology. Just kind of figuring out what's supposed to happen with that outcome. But we'll dive into that maybe a little bit more in some of the lunch hour episodes coming up. So again, they sought to create a more sustainable system for sending value, Bitcoin without mining. So here's this forum post here. This is interesting. So I've been thinking, Bitcoin mining seems like such an unfortunate side effect of the system since it is so wasteful. It will be a bit obscene how much will be spent mining if the network ever gets large. It would be cool to come up with a Bitcoin that doesn't need miners. So we're getting large right now, right? We're at the fourth halving cycle or so, and the reward for mining is being significantly reduced. And the fees to do so, especially in this high inflation environment, is becoming exorbitantly bigger. So on this post they continue. This is from Jed McCaleb, by the way. So there are several issues, but I'll ignore how coins are distributed and focus on the central problem of creating some way to trust the central ledger. Certainly this is what mining solves. The network trusts the ledger with the most mining done on it. So now to trust Bitcoin, you have to trust that 50% of the current mining power is good. And actually the way the network has evolved with pools, we are actually trusting that every large pool operator is good, since even if the pool isn't over 50%, the operator could have non-pool mining going on, bringing the total over 50%, or two pools could collude to defraud the network, etc. So this is where that decentralized consensus protocol comes into play here, because Jed's saying like, hey, if these miners start colluding, we're going to end up in that same capitalistic third middleman environment, etc. speaking in generalities here, but this lack of transparency and lack of trust is exactly what we're trying to sort of evade in this new market. So also, if say some government decides to wreck the network, it wouldn't be that expensive for them to do so. This is all discussed in other threads, so no need to go into this here. My point is that although the current network uses mining as a way to solve the trust issue, it really doesn't, since you must trust the large pool operators. So here's this explicit issue of trust. So this is the sort of the genesis of the XRPL, the node with a public key that the client generates for them. There's no connection between this key and the wallet key. It just allows to be sure you're talking to the node you think you are. So the nodes start trusting each other. I trust my 3 friends nodes, Gavin nodes, and this XRPL system of validators is now their network of trust that helps confirm these transactions. So that's sort of like the introduction on the XRPL. I mean, if you really wanted to make the comparison to the brick and mortar days, we all operate on most of our banks are moving off of the old Swift banking ledger system. So if we look at Swift banking systems, I guess. So this is the Society of Worldwide SWIFT is a global networking connecting banks to communicate messages about activities like money transfer and security using a code. So this is the SWIFT payments are what we've been used to using like post New Deal era. I don't have too much in-depth knowledge about SWIFT. I've read about it a few times. I believe it belongs to a different ISO certificate from back in the days, but essentially the reason why our paychecks and things like that used to take 1 to 3 days is because of the Swiss banking system and the nature of those transaction ledgers. So these ledger systems of the cryptocurrency environment are obviously making those a lot shorter and are reducing the need for, why would we need to get bi-weekly paychecks in the future if we can get XRP in 4 seconds, right? We could just pay ourselves every day if we need to. We can do things like that, and so that's sort of the evolvement, and it's also why, again, I've brought this up several times on some of our different shows. It's exactly why you're able to use Venmo Instant Transfer and Zelle and some of the other new technologies that allow you to instantly transfer money between your friends, is because behind the scenes, a lot of the major banks, institutions you're utilizing to link with Zelle and etc. are partnered with some of this technology and are starting to implement it. And so same if you're not using it in crypto, you've probably experienced some of the benefit of behind the scenes utilizing some of those third-party apps to send money to your friends for dinner and what have you not. So before we get into, and I didn't put this into the description, but I also want to talk about the Flare network here. So Flare is what XRP is going to be utilizing for its smart contracts, and so just wanted to bring up the Flare networks as well. And there was an airdrop for Flare's native asset, the Spark token. Back in December of last year. So if you were keeping XRP on any participating wallets or exchanges, you were supposed to be airdropped Spark tokens, which are the FLR USD coins here. Those are supposed to be representative of the smart contracts and for the XRP ledger. And so I personally haven't gotten any of my Spark tokens yet, but if you have, drop some comments in the chat. Let me know what exchange or wallet you're utilizing to get them. Unfortunately, I had a ton of mine on Nexo at the time, and I'm a little bit frustrated with Nexo for not participating in some of that stuff. So if anybody wants to help me, complain to Nexo, let me know. I know there's not a lot of intention in complaining all the time, but it'd be cool to get some of those Spark tokens. So wanted to bring up the Flare network as well. So check out Flare and Songbird as well. But we're going to talk about some of the other assets that have incepted themselves on the XRPL and what we think some of the intention might be behind them. and sort of go from there. I'll also show you how you can set up your XUMM or your Zoom wallet to get airdrops of these assets. I've personally received some airdrops of several of them. Some of them I haven't received any of yet, and I'm not sure if they're still going, but just wanted to show you how to participate in those as well. So the first one we'll talk about is Elysian. I'll be honest with you, this website is pretty, there's not a lot going on here yet, but Elysian is supposed to be the first token for the art and NFT industry running on the XRPL. So this was the attempt at NFTs on XRPL here. So we've talked a lot about NFTs. Most of them are on the Ethereum blockchain. Is aesthetics linked with the Ripple or Flare network? No. We esteem a lot what they're doing, but we are an independent team that want to emerge fine art in blockchain. They just want to use the XRPL. And I wanted to bring this up too. We strongly believe that NFTs minted on the ETH blockchain belongs to the past. The XRPL is the future. So my bias agrees with that. I think from a fees perspective, the ETH gas fees are an extreme problem. They're right up there with Bitcoin's fees. And it's not something that I think is sustainable. And that's why, again, we invested off of the XRPL network. None of this is financial advice. But, Braulio and myself and others kind of looked at XRP and this ledger system and said, well, if it's the most efficient, eventually it will win, right? Eventually it will dominate or capture a high market share across some of the marketplaces. And so that's sort of why we started here. And, Elysian is kind of certainly behind that technology, right? They're seeing the progress and saying, hey, we want to be part of this network. We want to host NFTs here, but certainly the XRPL is the future, and we think we'll beat out Ethereum one day, right? So how many ELS will be airdropped? 51% of the total supply. So I'll show you guys how to get those airdrops here in a moment and where to access some of those. Admittedly, I got some of them on Twitter. So yeah, are centralized exchanges supporting the airdrop? Currently, no. Centralized exchanges are interested in the airdrop in the moment. In order to claim ELS, you should use a decentralized XRPL address and set the trust line towards the issuer address. So there's a couple different ways you can do that, but I'll show you guys how to do that on XUMM. Is setting the trust line safe? Yes, on the XRPL, setting the trust line is safe. In order to receive every token issued on the XRPL except for XRP. This procedure lets you just to receive the token. No personal data and no private keys are asked. So, 1 second here. So yeah. And then, so here is the ELS issuer address. So again, I found them a lot on Twitter because there's a lot of nice people in the community combining some of these issuer addresses. And so if you copied this here, I'm actually just going to show you the Zoom website here. So this is the Zoom community. If you grab this app on your phone, you can set it up and sign in with Zoom, and then screenshot these trust line address. So if you were to just copy this trust line address here and go in here, it's probably going to find ELS here. So here's ELS, and then should be able to send the trust to Zoom. I'm not sure why I can't. It might know I've already done it. I'm not sure. But either way, you send this trust to Zoom, and then on Zoom, it'll ask you to take a screenshot of it on the next screen, and that's how you can sort of set that up. Maybe I'll find a video towards the end of this to get that going. Okay. So that was ELS. I haven't really heard too much about ELS. I did get like 5,000 of them recently. So the airdrops, that's one of the airdrops I've actually received so far. And to set up these airdrops, you have to they were tracking this market data earlier. That's interesting. It's funny because I swear I was tracking this market data earlier on CoinMarketCap. But anyway, I haven't heard too much of them. I think it's like 0.3 of a penny right now. But yeah, we will we'll keep following ELS and see if anything happens. So it looks like ELS has already been claimed. So bad resource here. I actually didn't get this far earlier when I was looking at this website, but I do believe there are other XRP airdrops continuing to come out. But this is one of the native assets on the XRP ledger if you're curious. And I'm not sure if you can buy it anywhere yet either. So more to come on that. So Nerian network, becoming the master of your own data. I don't know too much about the Nerian network, so here's an easy one. This one's like, here, just scan this here from your Zoom wallet. We'll set you up, no problem. I haven't received any Nerian yet. All companies processing data are about an individual from the local supermarket to Facebook and Google. So this seems like a retail, like supermarket and marketplace type project here that's looking to utilize XRPL to sort of capture all this data across all these different social media platforms. Today, the endless possibilities the internet has presented us with over the decades has resulted in an unfair place for individual users. Big tech monopolies compete for the user's data to sell for targeted advertisement. So again, Nerian's mostly just trying to protect users from all of this vulnerability and help users with privacy. If data is the new oil and that oil is being created by individual users, it should be protected and managed with transparency in an ethical and democratic manner. So the Nerian network is determined to deliver the infrastructure and currency necessary for a transparent and ethical and democratic experience. A strong ecosystem built on trust and accountability with privacy and security is a priority focus. So Nerian network's just looking to get into the data security future through the XRPL, capturing all of that same speed and efficiencies that we discussed at the beginning here. Let's see if there's any information. So here's the total issued here. It doesn't say when they were doing it though, because I never got any. So, but I did spend. So it cost 5 XRP to set up a trust line on XUMM or Zoom. So you can look at that in the future and say, well, if XRP is $100, it's a $500 wallet. Well, you can maybe trust that some of the other assets will appreciate more off of free airdrops. Okay. So let's talk about Equilibrium games really quick. So we talked about NFTs a bunch, and I may have mentioned Equilibrium on other websites before, but here you go. You can deposit XRP up here in the top right. So combining blockchain and the gaming industry. Equilibrium is our cryptocurrency which can be obtained in the games and outside to create a real player-driven economy. With the token, you'll be able to buy NFTs like cosmetic items, ownership of lands, and other services in games and outside. It runs on the XRP ledger, which is fast and cheap. Equilibrium is and will be used on all games developed by Equilibrium Games and partners. So, wants you to, play your games on the Equilibrium ledger, and sort of capture what they consider this $200 billion gaming sector in the blockchain industry and grab that piece of it on the XRPL. So you can grab Equilibrium on these different exchanges here. So you can hear some information about the trust line here. Looks like it's on BitTrue as well. Interesting. That's good. And I was looking at their Twitter earlier today. So, pretty cool community here. I think Equilibrium has probably a pretty solid future, especially as they consider to participate and capture these different new trends across NFTs and other spaces. Seems like they're participating in a lot of different things here. So check out Equilibrium Games. Really good price here at 25 cents. Let's actually take a look at that chart. I think I actually have it on my... That TradingView doesn't always have the best charts. Virtue. I cannot type today. Today's been one hell of a Monday. Just a Monday of all Mondays, Mondayist. What do they say? All right, let's go find Equilibrium here. Up 8% today. Is that what I just saw? Yeah. Literally a winner in a sea of losers. So it looks like that's a dent. Yeah, so that's great. Started at about 6 cents, now at 26. Looks really good. Chart by TradingView, which is so interesting. Like I pay for TradingView, and I just looked for it and I didn't see it. I mean, we're not seeing that, right? Oh, it's just the charting software, duh. Well, Equilibrium USD is not on TradingView, but if you need to use this charting software, got me good there. So yeah, that's Equilibrium Games. Definitely going to be competing with some of the other gaming projects we talked about, like Axie Infinity and some of the other ones that we've been discussing together. So check out Equilibrium Games. XGOLD. Admittedly, I don't really know too much about XGOLD yet, but I wanted to talk about it together. We'll check out the white paper as well. XGOLD offers an unlimited use case utility cryptocurrency for distributed payment systems predicted on consensus algorithm embodied in the Ripple protocol, bridging the gap between Bitcoin stored value and XRP's incredibly lightweight transaction speed, supporting value transfer, utilizing robust, collectively trusted peer-to-peer servers and subnetworks at zero network cost or carbon footprint. The train has left the station. It's become clear and undeniable that currency and commodities that once existed only in physical form or paper representations will for the foreseeable future exist perpetually in a tokenized digital form across distributed ledger technology, verifiably authentic and controlled exclusively by the private key holder. XGOLD coin supporters believe that while XRP is more than capable of solving all the world's payment problems, it takes a team of highly skilled people focused together on a particular problem that generally culminates the necessary relationships responsible for breaking boundaries and forging technological advancements. So I'm like, this is kind of like deep a little bit. So the global gold market cap is currently 11.3 trillion. XGOLD seeks to not only solve the problem of secured value transfer from A to B, so it's like basically getting gold and commodities transfers using XRP with XGOLD. Whereas eBay and Amazon use a rating and insurance system securing transaction across their networks, imagine a multiple device wallet, the XRPL, requiring multiple digital signatures authorizing each send transaction, the validators, doing away with the rating insurance-based systems. So, this is where XGOLD comes into play. I think I got some. Let me check my Zoom wallet here. Have not gotten any XGOLD yet. So I did send in my trust line for that. I don't know if I can find. Let me see if I can find any information about when. The chat is just lovely tonight. Like, this is getting ridiculous. What's going on here? Getting botted up. I'm going to report these comments. Yeah, unwanted. It's everything. Report everything. It's kind of annoying, you know. Just out here trying to talk about the XRP ledger, and we've got the naked XYZ stream. No, it's XRPL, not XYZ. Hate speech. All right. So so that's what's going on with XGOLD. Sorry about that. So NFT, non-fungible tokens offer a stunning ability to uniquely identify a specific item such as artwork, as well as authenticate the ownership of that specific item through the use of private keys and distributed ledger technology. Scarcity combined with authenticity promotes utility value. XGOLD Coin maintains a growing portfolio of limited collectible XGOLD Coin NFTs while working to establish, so they're trying to get in the NFT space. Zoom Wallet, so here's where you get them. So talking about the XRPL here, frequently asked questions. Should I have an expectation of profits? Supply increase. How do I acquire it? BitTrue. Zoom Wallet. Is XGOLD decentralized? So here's these, sorry, I'm just reading ahead on these phases here together. You know, there's a lot of trust lines involved in these phases. I don't know if I missed the first 2,500. There's a good chance I possibly did. But let's see if the XGOLD chart's on TradingView. Oh, look at that. What is going on here? I think I got logged out of everything somehow. Anyway, let's check out XGOLD really quick. Oh, wow. So, doing well recently. Nice little pop here from 56 to 59, but not as like cheaply priced as some of the other things we buy on the XRP ledger. But definitely check that out if you're interested, or if you're a gold snob or whatever, maybe something you could get behind in the crypto space. And then lastly, I'm just going to talk about Casino Coin really quick. So Casino Coin is a digital currency developed specifically for the regulated gaming industry. We've talked about Casino Coin a little bit in the XRP or in the Constant Collab Telegram chat. You know, when you think about the future of gaming or even being at a casino in this COVID environment, or playing, you know, games online and stuff, you think about a currency that can be valued across different gaming platforms and things like that. From a gambling perspective, I think Casino Coin has the right idea. You know, I think in the evolution, I hold a lot of Casino Coin, and I do get concerned that other players could be competing with Casino Coin, which is maybe why it hasn't seen some of the price appreciation that we thought it would have by now. But I do think Casino Coin is a good project. Safeguarded, no chargebacks. It's built on Zoom. The Casino Coin Lobby X app allows for easy signups to multiple casinos and offers a great way to keep track of your spending across operators. So that's a cool feature. I can't even believe how many comments this chat is getting tonight. It's crazy. Get YouTube going here. Philosophy founded on the ethos of compliance and consumer protection first, and is developing a gaming environment worthy of the world's top regulating gaming jurisdictions. It's a digital currency developed specifically for the regulated gaming industry. So casinos that are regulated, certainly this is where they want to be. XRP Ledger gives users unmatched transaction costs, speeds, and security. Near instant deposits and withdrawals, costing a small fraction over the other crypto or traditional fiat methods. So check out Casino Coin. I like Casino Coin. It's available on a bunch of exchanges to give liquidity to onboarded users. Where can I purchase it? BitChute is where I purchased mine. So check this out too. I'm gonna be interested in trying to be an operator as well. So very cool. So that was really what I wanted to talk about tonight as far as the XRPL goes. I think going back to this first graphic, the reason why people are trying to build on the XRPL is because they do believe it'll be faster. They do not only do they believe it'll be faster, it will be faster for them over the long run. It'll be easier to scale and it'll be a lot cheaper. And those are some of the projects that we've found that have been listed on the XRPL that have gained our curiosity, and certainly that we've gotten airdrops for. If you've been looking at any other XRPL assets that you think are worth mentioning, please let us know. Drop us a comment, join our Telegram chat, and please do subscribe and like this video if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll continue to look for any recommendations you have for future shows. So if there's something you want to talk about, please let us know, and we'll be happy to talk about that with you guys. So that's going to be it for this episode of Crypto After Dark. So thank you for joining, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya.